Get to grips with time blocking as a coach and conserve your energy to work when is best for you to be able to focus, feel grounded, and be able to reflect. Listen to today's episode to find out more about time blocking and how you can time block as a coach. Hello, you're listening to the Courageous Goals podcast. This podcast is for high-achieving, courageous women who want growth and the know-how to scale their business online. Running a business is a journey and a process. The more we learn in action, the more we succeed. If you're a woman in business, this is the podcast for you. Be in the 5% of businesses that make it. Let's get bold and create the life we desire. I'm bringing my passion to you through advice, coaching, inspiration, and support to help you create and design the life and business you want to live. I am a Dubsado expert, CPD certified in social media platforms, and a lover of admin systems and processes. I am an accredited ICF coach, specialising in trauma and narcissism. My own coaching journey has supported my growth immensely, and I want to share those highlights with you to inspire and give you courage. Let's get intentional with our goals and make them happen. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Courageous Goals podcast. So today we are going to look at time blocking once again, but we are going to look at time blocking as a coach. So I'm going to roughly go through the time blocking for efficiency resource guide that I put together. If you haven't got it already, please do head to the show notes, download your guide and use that to really create your time blocking in a way that works for you. But today's episode is going to be based around how you will do that as a coach. So for those of you that have the guide, you will know that you need to grab a cup of tea, grab a cup of coffee, whatever it is that you drink, and spend perhaps 10 minutes looking through this guide and then allowing yourself a few minutes to look at your calendar where you can find a whole dedicated hour to commit to time blocking. Now, for me personally, it doesn't really matter whether you do this or not, but the point is I want to explain and show you how it really, really benefits you, because I have used time blocking now for quite a while, and I never used to be as strict as I am now. But I know the benefits and the rewards that it really gives you and how much it can really support your mental health. It's so important to stay on top of tasks for your business, definitely 100%, but it's also very important to stay on top of things for yourself, and your business isn't going to run without you, so you know you need to look after yourself also. So whilst I'm talking to you, I'm hoping that you are downloading the resource. If you haven't, please go ahead and do it. And at the same time, please head over to your calendar, whether you're listening on your phone or if you're listening while sat in your office, at your desk, wherever it is that you are. If you can access your calendar, please go ahead and find 1 hour that you can spend on time blocking just to get started. Because trust me, if you can get time blocking nailed, you will have so much more focus. It will give you structure. It will definitely give you good boundaries in business. I'm one of those people where boundaries, like my personal boundaries, have never really been there. And if someone says to me, whether it's a friend, a family member, a client, whoever it is, I'm always the first person to say, yes, that's fine, I'll do that. Whether I have time or not, whether I know how to do it, whether, this, that, or the other, because I'm one of those people that are, well, firstly, I'm a people pleaser. But secondly, I love learning new things. I love supporting people, and I love the satisfaction that it gives me that I'm able to support other people. So it will give you better boundaries. It will also give you better productivity, and it will give you time back. Now you might be wondering, like, how is it going to do that? Like, how the hell am I going to save time by implementing time blocking into your day? I don't know if you're one of those people where you work like all over the place. So if someone says, can I have a call on Monday? You're like, yeah, that's fine. You throw it into your diary, and whatever you might have planned for Monday has gone totally out of the window. And then you need to then find that time back to go and do whatever it is you were going to do. Whereas I will tell you now that on Mondays, I definitely do not have meetings or sessions or anything like that on a Monday. I don't schedule anything on a Monday. And that's thanks to time blocking, because when you have meetings or sessions, it's not just that 1 hour slot where you're, allowing that person to have you, dedicated one-to-one. You have to prepare for it. Before you prepare for it, you might actually need to go and create something or do something, and then prepare for the meeting, then have the meeting. Then you might need to, reflect or write up some notes or do something. So actually that timescale might end up even being 3 or 4 hours, or maybe even longer, depending what you do. So allowing certain days for things really helps. So trust me, it really will give back time. Now you need to learn to be strict with your calendar and what you would like out of your week. So once you've downloaded the resource, you'll be able to really work out what you do on a daily basis, what you do on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, and that could be admin sessions, working on a project, creating a course. Don't forget to look at breaks, lunch, self-care, anything personal. So if you've got family commitments, if you do a school pickup, if you've got appointments or anything like that, try and keep all of those in your calendar as much as possible. Now, the second thing to consider is, when are you most productive? Always get the biggest or trickiest or time-consuming task done first, because your energy drains obviously as you go throughout the day, and you need to conserve your energy and use it in the right way. So are you an early riser or are you a night owl? Perhaps you prefer meetings and sessions to be done in the afternoon, or would you prefer them to be done first thing in the morning so that you can focus on other things at the end of the day? And then when you're time blocking, you want to be able to group things so that they can fit within your schedule. So like I just said, Mondays, I don't have meetings or sessions. Mondays are mostly for working on my business. And every Monday I have that scheduled in my calendar. So nothing can be booked on a Monday. It is all about my business. But I will break those tasks down. So I know Monday is about business, but perhaps throughout the month I can change those tasks. So one Monday a month, I know I will spend Monday focusing on my podcast and creating episodes and scheduling everything and creating the socials that go with those episodes and creating everything around that podcast. That will all be done on that one Monday. Then the following Monday, it might be something to do with my accounts and invoicing and general admin, tidying up Asana, tidying up my Drive, recording my metrics, because I track my marketing and where I spend my time and things like that. And then another Monday could be something completely different. And trust me, actually, since I have started time blocking and allowing that Monday to spend on my business, I have found myself having and finding more time, because I've been able to create and schedule these things and work in a certain way. I have been able to find spare time for me. So I might actually decide one afternoon I might just take it off. And on a Monday, I don't pick my daughter up until after school. So after school club even. So I pick her up at 5 o'clock. So I have a full 8 hours on a Monday, which I absolutely love, where I spend on my business. I can take time off for me. If I want to go and grab a cup of tea at Costa or something like that, then I can do that. But the idea is it allows you that time in your week. I also know on a Friday that I try and have limited screen time. So for those who like to be coached on the phone, I try and allow that to be on a Friday where possible. I have my own sessions on a Friday as well, because that really supports me. And I have a lot of screen time, so I'm trying to limit how much I have in the week. So Tuesday through to Thursday is really where I work mostly on client work. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I have to move things, and sometimes I will end up doing a little bit of client work on either a Friday, usually not a Monday. I was going to say a Monday then, but usually not. It's usually a Friday if I have to. But if I don't have to, then I will just roll it over to the next week, and I'll just set myself a reminder or write it in my my diary, and I'll do it on a Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday the week after. But the point is, I'm very, very strict with my calendar. I use it everywhere. Like even my kids know, if they want to book something in, it goes in the calendar. So I really got everybody used to using a calendar. And it really works for my schedule. It works for everybody else. And it just gives me better productivity. I know my energy and I know how to use it. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't easy to start with, and it is a habit change. So if you can't get the hang of it straight away, trust me, it will come. Just be kind to yourself. Don't overthink it. Don't plan it too much. So this is what I try to do. I plan monthly, and then I plan weekly. So either a Sunday evening or a Monday morning, I actually plan for the week ahead. So although I've planned for the month, I also plan for each week around my monthly plan, if that makes sense. But you've got to be open to changes, make adaptations where needed, and kind of go with the flow. So the 7 top tips that I've got in the resource is to use the available and busy settings in your calendar so that you can't be overbooked. For those of you that know that I use Dubsado, my calendar also works with Dubsado. So if a client books in, it works with my Google Calendar. If I put something in my Google Calendar, that also goes back the other way and works with Dubsado. So I cannot be overbooked. I absolutely love it. Second top tip, if you use more than one calendar, share them in the background so that they can talk to each other and work together. So if you use several Google calendars, if you don't have Dubsado or anything like that, but you have several Google calendars, you might have a personal one and a business one, share them in the admin settings in the background so that they talk to each other. I also have that. When you're working on dedicated tasks, this is top tip number 3. When working on dedicated tasks, turn off notifications. Don't get distracted. It's a huge thing. Number 4, this will benefit you. Mac users, if you use Apple products, have you seen the focus tool in settings? It is hugely helpful, especially if you're recording a podcast episode. So like right now, I have my focus turned on so that I don't get notified of messages, of calls or anything whilst I'm recording an episode, because the last thing I want is loads of beeping coming through whilst I'm talking to you. So where are we? Number 5, set specific time aside for engaging on social media. Don't sit there scrolling. How easy does that sound when I say that sentence? It really isn't, is it? Because we all find ourselves scrolling. We really do. And we have to, really, because we need to engage with people. That's how you build connections and relationships and, grow your business. But try and set specific time where you can do this. I quite often do it once throughout the day, sometimes twice, depending how busy my day is. And then I usually have a look in the evening. But I have specific times where I really focus on this, and I don't do it for hours on end, because the brain power it actually takes is quite a lot, and it becomes very overwhelming. So try and set yourself like a maximum of half an hour each time you're on social media. Tip number 6, Allow for lost time, interruptions, and adjust when needed. I briefly mentioned this before. So always leave a bit of space in your calendar if possible. So if needed, you can go back and move things around. And number 7, the most important, be kind to yourself and plan extra time where required and wanted. If you know you're feeling overwhelmed this week, next week, whatever, and you need a bit of downtime, you need some you time to conserve your energy so that you feel better and more productive the next day, allow yourself some time off, even if it's just an hour. Go for a walk, go and grab a cup of coffee, whatever it is. If you know you've got, I don't know, a celebration or something coming up, allow yourself that couple of hours to go shopping and do whatever it is you need to do, because our health and our well-being is just as important as running our business, if not more so, because, your business isn't going to run without you. You need to be well to be able to do it. So time blocking is really important. If you haven't got the resource, go and download it. Trust me, it really will help you. Now, as a coach, this is one of the things that I really wanted to talk about in this episode. So as a coach, you are using your mindset, your mind, your well-being. You are really using your brain power when you are in sessions with clients. You are also using it beforehand and after sessions. It depends what kind of coach you are. I'm a trauma coach now, so I know that uses a lot of my brain. It uses a lot of my energy. Sometimes I can feel very overwhelmed. Sometimes I can get triggered by certain things. So I know that before a session, I need to prepare. I need to ground myself. I know I need to feel quite free, if you like. So I need to feel grounded. My head needs to be clear. And then after sessions, I need that time to write up any notes. I need to reflect. And I usually need to send something to my clients after. So when time blocking comes in to being a coach, for me, I have found that it works where you have certain days set aside for coaching only. So not working on business tasks or creating a course or recording podcast episodes. Allow yourself certain days where you can coach, and only coach if you can. If you can fit that into your schedule, if you can fit that into your business, then please do try and focus on having certain days where you just coach and there's no other business things needed, because you can really focus. You can allow yourself that time for grounding, for reflections, for being present, and all of those things. It is really, really important, trust me. So when you get to a point where you know that something needs to change, look at your schedule, look at your days and see where you are actually present in certain areas. I really hope that this episode was helpful for you. I did go into time blocking a fair bit, but I just want you to know how important it is and the benefits of it, and what to really consider when doing it. Because some people, they download the resource, they don't actually implement anything, and it constantly stays in the back of their head. Right, I need to look at this, I need to do that, and so on. But when you're a coach, you don't want to have these things in the back of your head. You don't want to keep thinking, oh, I really need to do this. Oh no, I've got a session in an hour, and then you don't have time to do anything. And trust me, I'm talking from experience. That's why I'm able to say this. So download the resource. If you haven't, go and do it right now. Allow yourself 5 minutes to look in your calendar and go and block in an hour where you can spend some time blocking, working out your days, what you like to work on certain days. Do you want a shorter week? Are you happy to work all week? Can you do certain things on certain days? And then really look at the coaching point of view. So can you spend certain days where you're just a coach? You're not a businesswoman. You're not doing admin and sending this, sending that. You're not creating a course. You are just a coach, because trust me, it will benefit you. I know it's benefited me, and I've only actually put those days aside in the last couple of months now. But it is so much better to actually have coaching days. So I hope this was helpful. And if you've got any top tips of your own that you'd like to share with time blocking or time blocking as a coach, feel free to let me know, and maybe we could do a podcast episode together one day. Have a good week, and I will catch you soon. Thank you so much for listening to the Courageous Goals podcast. I really hope you've enjoyed today's episode and taken something of value for you. If you'd love more advice, coaching, inspiration and support, head on over to join many other courageous women in business in our free community group over on Facebook. We'd love to welcome you. You can also find free useful resources over on the website at leannebrown.com/resources. Right, that's all for this week. I look forward to sharing another episode with you next week.